We are going to continue looking at paper 1 skills based on the November 2022 paper 1. In this section, we will be dealing with the advertisement, the cartoon, and the last section, which is using language correctly. Whenever you answer an advertising question, you need to look very carefully at the advertisement before you even look at the questions. Please take note of what is being advertised and what is the actual message of this advert. Look at the design of the advert. So there is a picture there. Look very carefully at what is in the picture, as well as the words "it's back." So that design is really important. That round circle is called a rosette. You might not know the word rosette, but you can still just refer to the words in the black round circle. Look at the body copy. The body copy is the small writing. Look at the heading of the advert. Look at the slogan and the logo. Most important, try to understand what is the message of the advert. What are they advertising? Is this an advertisement for shoe polish? Or is there some other message that the advertiser is giving? So if you look at the name of the company, it is Greenpeace. If you know anything about Greenpeace, this is an environmental company. And look carefully at the style of the picture. So this bottle looks like a very old bottle. It doesn't look as if it's a shiny, new packaged product. Please make sure that you know all of your advertising terminology. You were given notes in previous years, which includes all of this terminology. So please refer to those notes. Target audience, who is going to be buying the product? So who are they aiming the sale at? The logo, the slogan, you must know what that is. You must understand when the term visual is used, it's referring to the picture. When we talk about body copy, that is referring to any small writing on the advert. The font is the style of writing. For example, is it bold? When it's bold, it would mean something. Is it italics? Is a different color used? So if you look at the writing in the rosette, it is white against a black background. Very important is what is it that grabs your attention in the advert? And this will be either the picture or the headline. And use of punctuation. That normally refers to exclamation marks, which are used to emphasize a statement. Question 3.1. Why does the advertiser make the claim, it made shoes shine in the 70s, it makes beaches dirty today? So there you really need to discuss what message the advertiser is sending to the public. And it says in the memo, you award 2 marks only if both parts of the caption are addressed. So there, obviously, you should be underlining your keywords. It made shoes shine and it makes beaches dirty. Those are the 2 parts of the caption that you need to respond to. 3.2 is to comment on one advertising technique used in the presentation of It's Back. And there it is, we have already mentioned the use of bold font. So font is always important. And the white printing on the black background, which draws the reader's attention. Advertising techniques, it could be anything, but it is always something that is going to grab the reader's attention. A few more advertising techniques are listed here. You could choose any one of them. The question does say to comment on one advertising technique. So you would not have to mention all of them. You will choose which one you think is most appropriate. 3.3 is to critically discuss how the appearance of the container supports the message of the advert. So again, you must underline the keywords in the question. You're going to look at the appearance of the container and the message of the advert. Appearance meaning, what does the container look like? You can see that the container looks very old, as if it's been lying on the beach for a long time. There is the memo answer displayed, but obviously if you can successfully discuss points A and B, you will get the full marks for that question. Question 3.4 is about the parts of speech. Sometimes this is asked in a different way, where you are asked to explain the function of the word. So please remember, if you're asked to explain the function of a word, you are just being asked what the part of speech is. So for your exam, you must know your parts of speech. You must know whether something is a verb, an adjective, a noun, a preposition, or so on. And 3.5 is the function of the apostrophe. If you remember, an apostrophe has two different functions. The one is to show contraction. The other word for contraction is omission. That is when two words are joined together and the missing letters are then just filled in by the apostrophe. And the other function of the apostrophe is possession. So please make sure that you know your punctuation, particularly the apostrophe, because it is a very likely question that will be asked. We now come to question 4, which is the cartoon. So before you even read the questions, please look very carefully at this cartoon. Please know all of your terminology. You must know what is meant by body language. You must know how to describe body language. For example, his arms are up in the air or he is leaning back. You must know facial expression and you must know how to describe the expression on the face. You must be able to talk about lines on the face, which might show emotion or movement. The text in the speech bubble, that is important, and once again, this will include punctuation marks and any use of large font or italics. Please remember that exclamation marks will show that a person is shouting or speaking loudly, but more often they will show emotions like surprise, horror, or happiness. So don't just say that the person is speaking loudly. Make sure that you have described the emotion. In question 4.1, it's very important in this question to underline your keywords. What is being asked? They are asking about body language and attitude. So in your answer, you need to describe both body language and attitude. Question 4.2, you've got to refer to frames 3 and 5. So remember, the frames are the boxes of the cartoon. Comment on Tandi's responses to Mother Anderson in these frames. So they are referring to frame 3 and frame 5. Make sure that you discuss both of the frames in your answer. Question 4.3 says, discuss how humor is created in frame 10 in the context of the cartoon as a whole. So there you have to refer to frame 10 as well as the cartoon as a whole. If you are confused about how to explain, then you must just describe what is funny in the cartoon, or just describe what is happening in this cartoon. You will get some marks for just describing what is happening. But if you describe what is funny, then you should get most of the marks. Question 4.4 is asking you to explain an expression. There you just need to explain in your own words what you think that expression means. Question 4.5, they have given you different words, so make sure that you understand what each of those terms mean. You have been taught all of this in past years. Then we come to the last section of the paper, which is using language correctly. Please read through the little passage. There will definitely be a few errors in the passage which they want you to correct. Question 5.1 is talking about a synonymous phrase. That is just referring to a synonym or something that means the same or something that is similar. And they are asking about a phrase, not about one word. 5.2 is about the function of the hyphen. So please remember, hyphens are always used to join words, to create a new word, or to join the prefix of the word. Hyphens are always asked in the final exam. Make sure that you know the difference between a hyphen and a dash. So there I have put into examples of hyphenated words. 5.3 is about changing into passive voice. Remember, in the passive voice, you are always going to start with the object. It might be confusing because that question starts with if. But when you change into the passive voice, you still begin with if, and then that is followed by the object. The next question is about a homophone. Make sure that you know what a homophone is. You should have been taught that in grade 9. I have given you some examples there. 5.8 is to just provide the correct form of the word. 5.9, they are looking at simple, compound, and complex sentences. Please revise that work. Make sure you know the difference. And 5.10, you have to use the word stock as a verb in a sentence. So I would, for example, I would stock my cupboards with lots of food.